So did you ever used to come here to see Mosong?
Yes, but not in this way. Just down there doing some other businesses.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Hey, Facebook. I have two very special guests with me today, and these gentlemen are from the Authorship and Careers Network. And this, over here, this is Mr. Kelvin Siawukululu.
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 You get it right.
Siawukululu.
Right.
Siawukululu.
Right.
Okay, there you go. And I've got here Mr. Shadrach Teo. These two gentlemen are from, like I said, they're from the Authorship and Careers Network. You guys are a publishing house.
Yes, we are publishing and also empowering the authors like that.
Okay.
So we are looking at two things. There is authorship and there is a career platform that we are looking at. So in authorship, we are looking at individuals, especially those that have challenges in terms of publishing. So we make the whole process easier for them because we are more of empowering kind of an organization. Then there is also the aspect of a career aspect where we look at individuals who are talented or skilled. Then we get to promote them and connect them to great opportunities like that.
How do you identify those talents? Are people coming through to your office? Are you scouting for them? How do they come to you?
All right, so we have two offices in Lusaka and in Livingstone. So in Lusaka here we are at Provident House, 5th floor. That is room 506. Then in Livingstone we're at the Mosio-tunya building, so you can still get in touch with the team in Livingstone. So the way we do it is that for someone to work with us, they have to be members first. So there is a procedure of applying for membership, then you pay a certain amount for membership, then the other things we just work together and promote you, whatever it is, publishing or whatever talent or skill that you may have.
Kelvin, let me turn to you. You've recently published the work of a young girl, and you've got the book right in front. Tell us about that book. Tell us about your relationship with the author and in terms of her book.
Okay, so this book right here in front of me is a book by a very young author, if not the youngest author in Zambia, Salifianji Simanza, as you can see over there. So Salifianji Simanza is a grade 11 student of Lusaka Girls High School, and she's only 14 years of age. Okay, so she has published this book with the Authorship and Careers Network. It's an African story about a girl named Chidera. So the book is called Chidera, the Slave Girl. Okay.
So tell me, how did you come to know her? How did this young girl decide to write a book, and then she decided to sort of network with you? How did that happen?
Okay, so Salifianji discovered the Authorship and Careers Network through Facebook.
Through Facebook?
Yes.
Interesting.
So her mother got in touch with us. Then we paid a visit to her house, and we had a discussion, and she's a very talented young girl. Yes, then she got to be our member, and right now we are mentoring her and just making sure that she stays on the post. She doesn't lose focus. Yes.
So tell me, in Zambia, when you see young talent like that, are you in terms of publishing her work?
Right.
Are you also heavily involved in the editing and the presentation, the outlook of the book? How far is your involvement in her in creating her book?
Right. We are 100% involved. So from from the cover, the editing, see the cover there, and proofreading, just everything that is involved in getting a book published. So in short, I would say from start to finish.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
Well, Shadrach, tell me, in Zambia, let's talk about the reading culture in Zambia. Is there a problem there?
We need to do more in terms of reading culture in Zambia. And one of the reasons why we came up with this organization is basically the challenge that we observed. So one of them is we don't have a lot of young people who are interested in books, and the very few that are there, they don't have that platform to have access to books and even to write books. So the reading culture in Zambia is very poor. And the other thing that I can mention about the culture of reading in Zambia is that a lot of young people are involved in other things rather than books. They say a book is the best friend, as we believe with my colleague here, because in books you're able to read what is outside, and even without even traveling. It's the cheapest way to travel around the world. So in Zambia, the only thing that I mentioned that I observed in Livingstone was the public library which was there, of which we are trying to also try to implement in Lusaka, because we believe that a lot of young people, especially in areas where we are coming from, Matero and Rilanda, somewhere there, a lot of people don't have a public library. So how do you expect them to read without that perfect environment where they can find books and read? So we are looking at all aspects as Authorship and Career Network in terms of community involvement, how we can involve the young people in the communities, if we can come up with something that can encourage them to read. Because you cannot say the young people should be reading when they don't have what to read. We cannot say they have to be reading when they don't have that perfect environment where they can read from. So the culture of reading is bad, just like it is with the culture of writing. I remember the time I was in grade 12 where all the books that we used to read in literature in English were from Nigeria and European countries, Animal Farm. So the question that I asked myself was, why don't we have our Zambian books in the syllabus? So we need to do more, both in writing as well as opening our minds in terms of reading as well. So as Authorship and Career Network, I can say that we're looking at all those aspects where we can promote reading and writing at the same time. Then the other thing I can mention about Sally's book, it was a special book for us because the time she joined SCN, she had done most of the work. Okay, she had done most of the work. So there are a lot of other partners that helped her from scratch to where she was by the time she was joining SCN. So what we have been doing with her has been more of publishing and marketing her in terms of getting to the society and making her book popular like that. So there is another author in Livingstone, Joy. So I have to mention something now related to what you asked about reading, which is the aspect of Joy. So Joy in Livingstone, she's a member of Young Authors Club. So Young Authors Club is a club under SCN, which is Authorship and Career Network. So this Young Authors Club, we targeted the people in schools who are the pupils. So everyone who is at high school or primary school, they have to be part of that Young Authors Club, which is a club that we have opened in schools. So in Livingstone, we're at St. Mary's Secondary School. Then in Lusaka, we're at Matero Boys Secondary School. But we're yet to expand. So Young Authors Club, we want to tap the talent and instill that reading and writing culture in young people. So we cannot promote reading and writing culture in Zambia without getting to the grassroots. So we're getting to the grassroots of promoting those pupils at schools to be part of that Young Authors Club so that we can promote this reading and writing culture in Zambia as a whole.
Interesting. Tell me, how difficult or how easy is it to write a book? Because, you know, the thought of writing a book, it seems so daunting. But tell me, if someone has an idea, how easy is it for them to actually write a book?
All right. So I'm an author myself. there's a book that I'm yet to publish also. I've written quite a lot. So here is one thing that I tell people. I think it's a common thing with authors. Writing a book is not an easy thing, but it becomes easy if you have passion with it. It becomes natural. And one thing about writing is that the more you read, the better you become at writing. So
that's very important. Say that again. The more you read,
the better you become at writing. It will just flow. Like that. So personally, I always move with a diary, because sometimes as authors we meditate a lot. When an idea comes your mind, if you don't write it down, you lose it. And those are the ideas that will be the perfect ideas for the book. So what I do personally is that each time I think of that idea, I write it down in my diary. And the other thing that I also use as part of writing books, because I've written quite a number of books, over 5 books in that way. Then I always make sure that I create time. Because it's like
you always make sure you
create time.
You create
for
time,
the book.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't set a deadline to say, by this time I'll finish the book, then you'll never finish the book. I remember personally when I was trying to come up with my first book, I was sharing my story with other people, say, I want to publish a book. And 90% of all the people that I was telling the same thing, that I want to write a book, they were saying, I'm also writing a book. Then the question I asked myself is, everyone is writing a book, but why don't we get to publish them? Meaning people start writing, but they abandon it. They don't have a focus, they don't have a goal. When do they want to finish the book? So you have to set the deadline and challenge yourself, create time, because if you love something, you find time for it. Even when you are busy, you still find time for it. Even personally, I love writing, and I always find, even when I'm busy, I find time to write. Even when I'm tired, I still find time to write. So it's about passion and dedication, and you'll be able to finish your book.
Thank you very much. So lastly, Kelvin, tell us again, where is the Authorship and Career Network located? And what else are you trying to do in terms of helping young people become authors?
Okay, before I come to that, you'll be interested to know, let me add something first to what Mr. Teo said about the reading culture in Zambia. You'll be interested to know that the current statistics are 55.3% of the total Zambian population, with illiteracy levels much more pronounced in females than in males.
Really?
Exactly.
I had no idea.
So you can see that we still have a long way to go. So how we come in as the Authorship and Careers Network is by empowering especially the young people, because the young people are the future. It is very sad to note that even up to date, even after all these years of independence, we still have donated books in our public schools. Okay, that should not be the case. We need to see a situation where we have our own books written by Zambians in our schools. We need to see a time where we'll not be able to rely on foreign books like Nigeria, like my colleague already mentioned. Okay, so this is a great opportunity for authors. They can get in touch with us. Our offices are located at Provident House, 5th floor.
That's on Cairo Road.
Cairo Road.
Yes.
Yes, that is south end.
And your numbers?
My number is 0979 26 30 00. Very simple number like that. 0979 26 3000, and I am the Public Relations Manager, Authorship and Careers Network.
Wonderful. And Mr. Shadrack, your details?
All right, so my details are 0972 71 93 73. I'll say that again. 0972 71 93 73. And I'm the co-founder and the director for SCN.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming through. And we wish you all the very best.
All right, thank you so much
Cheers.
for hosting us.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.